Hi, my name is Katrina Lau. I'm originally from San Francisco, born and raised San Francisco native. I currently live in Lake Tahoe. So I am currently a product designer. I build a lot of experiences for apps. I spend a lot of time on the computer, and whenever I get engrossed in my work or I have a project, I do forget about my hobby and the things that I am passionate about. Work isn't particularly something that I would say. I love design and it is one of my passions, but when it gets really busy, it can get really stressful, and I do spend a lot of time, a lot of hours just sitting on the couch, on the table, like at my office working, and then I forget about snowboarding, or there are days where I do have to sacrifice like less snowboarding time so that I can work more. And it not necessarily because I have to work more, it just I feel like the need to be productive to work. Snowboarding is really important to me because it helps me bring out my creativity, and the most important thing is that it also helps overcome fear. I feel like I'm always a very scared, very shy person. So I do struggle with ADHD, and I do think that balancing between my work and my passion for snowboarding is extremely difficult. Aside from work, I carry so many hobbies. Like, I have probably 20 hobbies right now. If you told me there was a rock right now, I'd probably be like, oh my god, let's go look at the rock. So it's really hard to balance. I mean, aside from working, I know that I did say that I sometimes spend a lot of time, and that's because I do get hyper focused on the one thing, and when I do hyper focus, it's something that I'm really stressed about, and I want to get that thing done. So I do struggle with that, not just trying to figure out that balance, but really trying to find that happy medium so that I'm happy and I'm trying to be less stressed. But it's also trying to handle having ADHD and trying to understand it and how I can tackle it. If there are things that I can do to help alleviate that, or there are solutions that can help with that. I want to be able to continue to do product design and be able to be creative through that outlet as within that career, while being able to make enough money to sustain my hobby as a snowboarder. I want to be able to kind of have that career, but also be able to still focus on snowboarding. Even though it is a hobby, it's really important to me that I progress in that, and maybe it can become something one day. I still haven't figured out how I can kind of combine the two, or even just balance the two. So that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. So I have considered my design skills and see how I can transfer it over to snowboarding in some way. And the only reason why I think about that is because I do struggle with the work-life balance. So what if I created work that went into my hobby of snowboarding? And I do think that if I was able to sustain myself financially through my design work and incorporating that with snowboarding, I can definitely kind of sway away from product design and really just focus on designing within snowboarding. And I don't really know what that entails. That could be maybe even designing snowboards, creating social media content for companies. Again, I'm not too sure. There's just so many things, so many topics that I could think of, and I haven't really focused on one. Again, I really do struggle with that. Having ADHD is really hard when I'm doing work or when I'm snowboarding, especially in snowboarding, because again, there are a lot of tricks in snowboarding. There are so many that I literally don't even know the names to a majority of them. I know the basic generic names, and it's very, very overwhelming. I try to really just focus on one thing for that one day, and I try not to pressure myself. So if I do want to kind of if I feel tired of learning another thing, and I see maybe even someone on the mountain doing something else, and I'm hey, I want to try that, I am gonna try that. And I actually don't know if this is a good way of progressing. It might create a slower progression, but it could create a happier progression for me. So it's not about progressing fast, it's about being able to progress while being happy, doing a hobby that you really enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good.
So I have a social media, and I did this for myself where I show the progression of my snowboarding. And the series is basically day blank, so like day 1 of snowboarding until I become a pro. The whole point is it's not really to become pro, it's just to show the progression as a 27-year-old person in like being introduced into the snowboarding world, because not a lot of people start snowboarding when they're older, and a lot of people are scared to start because everyone is very good and they started at a very young age. I do think that it can inspire people to even just start a new hobby in general, because it doesn't, like, I want to show people that it really doesn't matter at what point or what age you are. You can do literally anything you want. You don't have to be good at it. I just want people to have fun. Creating new hobbies within this like kind of like niche outside of snowboarding. So I think that's really cool.